believe it or not, that was a genuine round of applause from myself to Nintendo. So what am I talking about? So I just finished reading an article posted up on Kotaku a couple of days ago, and it was an interview with the legendary man himself, Mr. Miyamoto. I have a link down in the description if you want to go read the article for yourself. But basically in the article, Mr. Miyamoto went over the reasons for the delay of the new Zelda game. And he basically went on to say that, look, you just can't rush creativity. And with every Zelda game, they strive to do something new and creative. And that it basically takes as long as it takes. And at that point, it became apparent to me that, geez, Nintendo really is giving their studios the breathing room they need to create new, wonderful, and polished content. And to be honest, I found it kind of gobsmacking coming from Nintendo, the company which has struggled to release any kind of sizable amount of content at any point during the Wii U's life cycle. You know, these are the guys that will go months between titles because they have no third-party support, which again is entirely their own fault, but that's a completely different subject for another video. And by months between titles, I mean what would be considered a AAA title or a AAA game, like, you know, your Halos, your Uncharted's, yada yada. I'm not fucking counting Dance Revolution, whatever, 2016. So I really feel like that's been their Achilles heel, and to hear that, you know, they are giving their studios, their first party studios, the breathing room they need to actually deliver new content that's polished, and we're not getting these 5 gig or bloody 10 gig add-on patches on launch day. You know, it works from day one without a problem. And I do understand that patches are a necessity in today's gaming world, but I'm specifically talking about patches on day one that are there to address major issues with the game or content that wasn't ready to go when they printed the disc. But yeah, it's just so refreshing to see that coming from Nintendo, and I'm glad to see them leading by example. And for that, I genuinely believe they deserve that pat on the back. Now, I'm not basing this off what I've read online about the polish and the quality of the state of the games Nintendo release at launch. I'm basing this on the fact that I've owned every Nintendo system growing up, all the way from the NES through to the Wii U. And I mean, I know patches didn't really apply to the cartridge generations, but definitely from the Wii onwards, we still saw polished games day one. You know, they weren't broken, not like you see on the Microsoft and Sony side, or more the publishers themselves like Ubisoft and EA, especially with Battlefield and Assassin's Creed. And speaking from how I personally feel, I believe it's just betraying your fan base's trust. And at the end of the day, if they don't feel they can trust you, they're probably not going to slap down a pre-order, and they might even wait as long as they need to confirm that the game is actually working. Or it'll certainly start to hurt them bottom line as people start to catch on and begin to become more wary. And I know you can make the argument for Microsoft and Sony that, hey, they're not publishing some of these games. You know, you've got Ubisoft and EA, they publish the Battlefields and the Assassin's Creed titles. But at the end of the day, Microsoft and Sony both have quality control in place to stop games releasing broken. So again, how are these games getting past the publisher's quality control and Microsoft's and Sony's quality control? It's just fucking ridiculous, isn't it? Especially in contrast to Nintendo, these guys have a huge amount of content coming out monthly and yearly. So I just don't see why they feel the need to crank this stuff out the door so fast that it comes out, you need patches day one and fixes day one. Or in the worst case scenario, it's releasing broken. And a perfect example of that in recent memory is the Halo Master Chief Collection. That game was broken 6 months after its release. So yeah, I guess that's a perfect case in point scenario. So basically, long story short, I think a vast majority of publishers, studios on the Microsoft and Sony camp are guilty of trying to meet deadlines at any cost just to make the bottom line. And I think they could all learn a valuable lesson from Nintendo just to slow things down a little bit and put some quality control in place and give your creators time to make what they want on their schedule so you can ensure you get a finished product at release. That's just my opinion, guys, and I'd love to hear yours as well, so let me know down in the comments. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. My name's Sully, this is One Guy's Opinion, and I'll catch you next time.